Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from group 5. Today our group is going to present about analysis of documentation named The Entire History of Egypt. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur FATHNIN ILHAMI BINTI MOHAMAD HELMI. My metric number is 2124852. Okay, so I'm going to present about background of civilization. First, we know that Egypt's civilization exists because of the discovery of a stone by a French soldier in 1799. And also from the documentation, we can see that Nile River is actually act as a lifeline of Egypt, because in Egypt, the agriculture is really popular for Egypt people. And for example, in Paleolithic and Neolithic eras. Next, we also can say that Egypt is actually divided into two parts, which is Lower Egypt and Upper Egypt, but Upper Egypt emerged later compared to Lower Egypt. And lastly, we also can say that the culture and artistic change in civilization Egypt because of the practice of mummification and trading with other regions. For example, in Abydos and Hieroglyphs, when they become an important burial site, it attracts more people from across Egypt to come to Egypt to see the burial site. From there, the culture and artistic change in civilization of Egypt. Okay, next I'm going to explain about the dynasty in the civilization Egypt, but I will only highlight the important part for dynasty. Okay, so first dynasty, it starts when King Number dividing and unifying Lower and Upper Egypt. So from there, we can say that first dynasty of Egypt start, and Egypt is ruled as a unified nation, not as a divided, which is Lower and Upper Egypt. And next, second dynasty, which is the establishment of a connection between monarch and divine. This is because the king name is linked with God, so that's why people start the Egypt people start to worship the king as a god. Okay, next, third dynasty, which is we can say it has a good monarch, because in third dynasty there's flourish economy, commons, religious practice and art. And as a evidence for the third dynasty has a good monarch, there's one famous work from Joseph, which is the step pyramid at Saqqara. And then next, fourth dynasty, which is the foundation of true pyramid, named Pyramid of Giza. And then lastly, the third dynasty, which is the start of carving in stone, and also the mausoleum of King Unas that have shed light on religious view that changed the Egyptian social structure. Okay, so next we move to Khufu reign, which is that's where Egypt become more wealthy through military battle and trade things. It also the start of innovation for agriculture, and also the construction of the world first documented dam. Next in Mercury Reign, which is they continue the construction of Giza Pyramid, which is from 4th Dynasty, and then also continue construction of Shin Complex. But because of the lack of resources for post construction, they are unable to finish the work, and it's actually the point of leading to the collapse of the old kingdom. Next, we move to the 11th dynasty, or we call it as a Middle Kingdom. In Middle Kingdom, Intef the Mighty unified Egypt and expanding its territories to conquest. So from there, Egypt become more wider. And then next, 12th dynasty, which is they develop advanced irrigation system and millimeter for tax purpose, and with this action is actually centralize the wealth and power with monarch. So the power of king stay as the strongest power in Egypt. Next, Nubia also built a barrage and dam for controlling the flood and directing irrigation water. And for this innovation, it increased the Egypt richness and influence from other regions. Next, we also can say that from 12 to 13 dynasty, Middle Kingdom is actually reached the highest of power and wealth. But in 3rd dynasty, Lower Egypt began to develop their own political group, and with this, it weakening the ruler grip on the north, because it started to divided the people into two groups. That's all from the timeline for civilization of Egypt. From documentation, also we can conclude the culture of Egypt. First, the life of culture in Egypt which is the pill is really popular in Egypt, and marriage were mainly planned by parents, which is a girl with 12 years old will marry with boy with 15 years old. There is also a variety of sport and activity, for example hockey, handball. And then because of beer is really popular, so festival in ancient Egypt known for drinking and fasting. And also Egypt diet is consist of grain and vegetable only, and meat is actually expensive food, and it like the symbolic of royalty. So whoever can eat meat will consider as you all have connection with royalty. Okay, that's all for background of civilization. Next, we move to factor of rise.
We move to the rise of Egypt. Civilization was highly supported by various factors. Firstly, ability to adapt of the condition of the Nile River, really of agriculture. Really of the Nile River contribute to the civilization as a result of the Egyptian ability to adapt to its environment. The valley of the Nile River were fertile and produced surplus crop that supported a highly dense population of Egyptians. The overproduction in the farm helped them trade with the neighbors to acquire the resources that they lacked within their territory. The result of the floodplain of the Nile River gave the populace great opportunities to develop an agricultural economy which was more sophisticated. The fertile low plain of the Nile gave women the chance to develop a settled agricultural economy and more advanced central culture that was foundation in the history of human being civilizations. By the late Paleolithic era, the dry and hot temperature of northern Africa forced a large number of populace to settle alongside the river regions. This populace started practicing agriculture activity the way greatly favored by the fertile soil found along the river Nile valleys. Secondly, administration and economy. The stable government played a major role in the civilization of early Egyptians. The pharaoh, who used to be the leader, was highly supported. He established a system where workers from the farm could be compensated with system barter. The government also introduced a legal system where law were applied through the common knowledge of what is wrong or right to serve justice. The victims, if found guilty, were punished to their action, which were either civil or criminal.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nurul Fazliyana, matric number 018734. I will continue on the factor of the rise of Egypt. So, the abundance of building materials is one of the rise factor. Egypt had access to a variety of building materials such as limestone and granite. These materials were used to construct monumental structures, including the famous pyramids, which stand as symbols of ancient Egyptian civilization. Moreover, the pyramids were definitely a significant factor in the rise of ancient Egyptian civilization. The construction of monumental structures like the pyramids serve several purposes that help shape the civilization. Firstly, to foster a sense of unity and collaboration among the people. Secondly, serve as a focal point for religious practices and pilgrimage, attracting worshippers and visitors from all over the kingdom. Thirdly, the development of architectural and engineering expertise. And lastly, provided employment opportunities for a large number of people, including laborers, craftsmen, and artisans. Pyramids also played a vital role in the rise of civilization by fostering unity, reinforcing religious beliefs, showing the greatness of architecture, and stimulating economic growth. Okay, now we move to the factor of falls. So, among the factors that contributed to the fall of ancient Egyptian civilization is economic factors. The decline in trade routes led to economic difficulties. During its peak, Egypt had flourishing trade networks that brought in valuable goods from neighboring regions. However, over time, these trade routes became less active due to various reasons like political instability and the rise of competing trade routes. For instance, during the Third Intermediate Period, Egypt experienced political fragmentation, weakening its central authority. The disruption of trade routes contributed to a weakening of Egypt's economic foundation. This affected the overall stability and prosperity of the civilization. Other than that, the increasing power of the priesthood and the accumulation of wealth created social and economic disparities within Egyptian society. And the priesthood became increasingly influential and wealthy, which led to a concentration of resources in their hands. This imbalance in wealth distribution may have contributed to social unrest and economic instability.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is NURDIYANA SHAHIRAH. So today I'm going to continue to the next point why ancient Egypt faced some tough time and led them to the fall of this once mighty civilization. Okay, we move to the next point why ancient Egypt faced some tough time. It is because the political political fragmentation. So, after the leader Pharaoh Ramesses XI passed away at 1070 BC, Egypt didn't have just one leader. It split into two parts, the north and the south. The north part had a leader who cared about the rules and order, and at the south, it located at the Thebes, the center at the Thebes, and focused more on the religion. Okay, the north and the south part couldn't really work together because they had different ideas, one about the political issue and the other one about the religion matter. And it caused a problem. They were not on the same page. Because they were not working well together, Egypt became weak and open to attacks from outside other group or other civilization like in Egypt and Greek civilization saw this opportunity and thought this is their chance to take over the ancient Egypt. Okay, so some outside group did attack and Egypt was not ready to defend itself, so it got taken over by this other civilization. Not only that, but the leaders in Egypt were also dealing with their own problems, like arguing among themselves, and this made it easier for the outside group or civilization, like Greek and Roman civilization, to come in and take charge of their ancient. And that's not all. Things got really messed up inside the Egypt too. Because of the money and politics become a big problem. People of Egypt civilization difficult to live their life. There is more because of all this issue. Strong groups from the outside come in and basically took control of this ancient Egypt. Egypt, which used to be powerful at that time, but because of the political issue, it couldn't stand up to this outside forces. From that event, we can see how the problems back then still affect how we understand about the ancient Egypt history today. Okay, so the conclusion, Egypt splitting into two, leaders not working together, and problem inside and outside lead to the why ancient Egypt faced some tough time and eventually fell. Okay, now I'm gonna continue to explain the real reason why this ancient Egypt went downhill. Okay, after being studied by the researchers, the main reason for the fall of this ancient not because of the political issue or the economic issues, but the main reason is because of due to environmental factor. Okay, all of us know that the Nile River is one of the factor of the development of ancient Egypt. Well, the river's flood were like a yearly gift for the Egyptian, because the river's flood from the Nile River for the Egyptian, it is the source of food for them, source of food, source of water, and they can live their life because of the Nile River. But then, at one time, the weather started acting strange. Sometimes it's raining too much, and sometimes it didn't rain enough. And this time when the Nile River started acting like a crazy, and the Nile River fell because of the weather. Okay, their farm got flooded and didn't get enough water. This messed up the farming because plants get very sensitive when it's come to weather. Plus one more thing, because of this unpredictable weather, the temperature keep going up and down, and this also mess up the ways plants grows. Okay, we know that the main plant the ancient Egypt grow is wheat. How well wheat growth depends on the weather and temperature. The changes of the weather and the temperature interfere the growth of the wheat. Because of these problems, their farming didn't work well and they often didn't have enough food. People were very hungry because ancient Egypt couldn't grow a lot of food from their farming. Because of this problem, the leader took advantage of this, and the government in Egypt also decided to control everything like food and make the price higher. This made the people mad, like very mad, and they started to rebel and protest about this problem. As the government took more control and food became more expensive, the unity or togetherness among the people of Egypt's civilization started to break. People were not happy, and this made the ancient Egypt not strong. The other civilization, like Roman and Greek civilization, took advantage of their weakness and started to attack their ancient, and this led to the fall of the ancient Egypt. So this is the main reason or the big reason why the ancient Egypt went downhill. Okay, I think that's all from me for the explanation of why the ancient Egypt civilization fell down. Thank you.
We move on to the lesson learned from ancient Egypt history. Firstly, environmental influence. The importance of geography and environmental factors, such as we know, the Nile River and its annual floods, played a crucial role in shaping the civilization. Understanding and harnessing the natural environment contributed to the prosperity of Egypt. Second, agricultural foundation. The transition from a hunter-gatherer societies to a more settled agricultural community marked a fundamental shift. Agriculture became the economic backbone, demonstrating the vital role of food production in sustaining and advancing civilization. And lastly, cultural continuity. The transition from pre-dynastic cultures to a more established dynastic period demonstrate the continuity and evolution of cultures over time. Understanding these transitions sheds light on societal development. These lessons collectively contribute to our understanding on how political, cultural, environmental, and economic factors interplay in the formation and progression of ancient civilization. In addition to that, maybe some may ask, what is the point of learning ancient history or ancient Egypt? So, studying ancient cultures like Egypt provides valuable insights into the development of human civilization, including advances in technology, architecture, societal structures. Understanding ancient cultures help us appreciate the diversity of human experiences and the ways in which different societies have shaped the world we live in today. If no one studied ancient Egypt, will it affect the modern world in any way? So, without the study of ancient cultures or ancient Egypt, our understanding of human history and the foundations of modern society would be significantly diminished.
So that's all from our group. Thank you for listening. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.